some of these TikTok saving hacks could save you thousands of dollars, but others could actually slow you down. And after personally paying off $43,000 worth of debt, building a net worth of over $800,000, let's go through each one of them and see what is for real and what is not. Let's dive in.
If you save 20% of an average salary, it will take you over 100 years just to hit a net worth of $1 million. See, I used to be this frugal guy, and the frugality trap is when you believe cutting back is the only way to get ahead. But the math ain't mathing. The math doesn't lie. But if you save 20% of an average salary, check this out, it will take you over 100 years just to hit a net worth of $1 million. Even if we double that at 40% of the average salary, right? You're still looking at 80 plus years to have $1 million inside of your investment portfolio. Instead of obsessing.
Okay, this is one of my biggest pet peeves. I think he's just confusing saving and investing. The whole time he's talking about saving, and now we're talking about an investing portfolio. So those are two very different things. I'm going to continue the video.
Over every dollar you spend, I need you to start asking yourself, how can I make my money work for me? Come on now, I'm feeling good. We in 2026, baby. How can we start exchanging our time for money, and then instead of for spending every dollar that we get, we turn a portion of that money back around to work for us and to work harder than what we are doing as in...
Wait.
Spending every dollar that we get, we turn a portion of that money back around to work.
In the beginning, he said something about how cutting, I gotta find it, because he just like contradicted himself.
Back, you believe is when you believe cutting back is the only way to get ahead.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I've heard enough. In this video, he just contradicted himself like 5 times. That's why some of these videos from, we'll call them large influencers in the space, it really concerns me. And so I don't know what he was getting at with the 20%. Maybe he meant savings, but then he said investment portfolio. So let me do like some quick math here. I have my calculator. So first, let me see, what is the average salary in the United States? Got it. So average individual salary, $64,500 to $66,000. So let's say it's $65,000. And what I like to do is take a third away for taxes or whatever. So right now that's $42,900. Can you see that? Yes. And 20% of that is $8,580. Okay. And then that's in the year, and then divided by 12. So every month, $715 a month to save. Now he's talking about an investing portfolio. So I just added this in here so you guys could see it. And you guys, I feel free to go check a compounding interest calculator on the internet. They're super helpful just to kind of test out things and how much money you're putting aside and how much it could potentially possibly grow. But if we take the $715 at a conservative 8% rate of return for 30 years, you're a millionaire. So I don't know what he's saying with 100 years. This is the problem with people just saying stuff on the internet. People just believe them. This was not a great video. Let's jump to the next one. Hopefully we have a better one.
Okay, I genuinely think that saving money is horrible advice, and let me give you my take on things, because I think this is really going to help a lot of people. This is coming from someone who spends $250,000 a year, so $250,000 a year on just myself. So the basis of this is that I think it's really important for you to experience that there's a lot of money out there, and that there's more of it that's going to come into your life. You're able to make more, and you want to get rid of this belief that there isn't enough. And I think that when you're saving money, it comes from like usually an unconscious pattern underneath in your subconscious that like says
manifesting
there isn't enough money. We definitely need to save it because we don't know if it's always going to keep coming in. And it's not the case for everybody, but I want you to ask yourself, have you ever thought this way before? Because if you have, you might have an unconscious belief that's not true. There's more than enough money out there, and if you have skills, you have a business, you've got a Shopify store, an Amazon business, a real estate portfolio, you have the ability to make more money.
Of course.
And really, there's no end to it. I mean, you end when you want it to end.
Okay.
So
I understand the gist of this video. And yes, I agree that we shouldn't save money just for the idea of like, oh, we got to buckle in and hang in there, like save the money. The saving the money part is so that we can take other risks and be a little riskier with our money. For example, when my wife and I, we paid off $43,000 of debt, we did it in 13 months. We were able to push so freaking hard towards the debt because guess what? We saved money. We had money set aside a little bit that we felt like, okay, this is a safety net so that we can go hard with it. And we paid off the debt in 13 months, and then it ended up being a lot of money every month that we were putting towards the debt. As you can imagine, it just kept rolling into each other. We pay off one, we kept it going. And then we rolled that into like investments. And in that short period of, I don't know, it was like, say 3-5 years of paying off the debt, putting money into investments. That's how our net worth like really exploded. And it was because of the money that we saved, genuinely. If I were to think back, yes, there were other things involved, like saying no uncomfortably to family and friends for paid events. And people just thought we were weird. But I'm pretty happy with how things turned out. And it was only a couple $1,000s that we had, quote, saved. But that couple $1,000s allowed us to do so many other things, you know, in the future. I'm 37 years old. We did this when we were, maybe it was like 8-9 years ago, something like that. I'm so thankful of what we did during that time and putting money aside, because now we're able to do all the things that we're able to do. And so, yes, absolutely. I don't really, I don't know, the manifest content isn't for me, so that's all I'm going to say on that. But I don't want to poo-poo the idea that there is more money out there. Yes, we absolutely can make money, but I don't think increasing the income is the first thing that we need to do with our finances. I like to run quickly through when I work with people. I like to do a 3-step process just to give them an immediate quick win to help them find extra money in their finances. The first step is the 3-month look back. You look back 90 days. Where have you spent all your money? Gives us an idea, where has it been going? Then step 2, North Star goals. So what are the things that matter to you the most? It could be life goals, financial goals, non-negotiables, things happening now, things happening in the future. And then step 3 is realignment, where we are looking at, okay, where's our money been going? Where would we like it to start going? And then we start shuffling things around so that we can, you know, pay off our debt, invest in skills. It sounds like this creator invests a lot in himself to improve. So that's the stuff that we want. And I know that this absolutely works here because, for example, I help people do this exact very same thing of finding extra money in their finances. So Sandy, $1,200. Gemma never saved so much money in her life. Kahisha, $1,300. Kim, over $1,000. And I could go on and on and on. But at the end of the day, if this is something that you've been struggling with, below this video, there's a link to have a chat with me just to kind of see what's going on. No pressure, just a quick call, see where you're at, financial clarity, and we can see if we're fit, maybe working together in the future. But either way, I'd love to chat with you.
I'm going to explain to you why saving money is a bad idea in under 60 seconds. Everyone knows the rule of personal finance, spend less than you make. But what you do with the money that's left over will determine whether you're successful or not in the future.
That's
if
true.
you take all your money and you put it in the bank, every single year it's going to lose some value because the government keeps printing money and they're devaluing your dollars.
Sure.
There's a reason why $1 used to be able to buy 30 chocolate bars. Today, $1 can't even buy one chocolate bar. The chocolate bars are the exact same, but it's the dollar that lost value.
They're probably
Today,
better.
when you have money left over after your monthly expenses, you have to be an investor. Savers are losers, investors are winners.
Yeah, I understand what he's trying to say. This is the classic, like, should you save, should you invest? And just to be clear, I think people use the word interchangeably, like saving I'm talking about. Some people, when they say saving, they mean actual saving. Some people, when they say saving, they mean investing. So I do want to clear that up. This creator did a great job explaining them both as different things. The second thing that I'll say is, yes, we want to save enough, again, so that we can put money towards other things and have a buffer in place. If we only save money, let's say the least efficient thing to do is putting it in our traditional bank account. It's going to get horrible, ridiculously terrible interest on it, terrible. What you do, you save money, you put it in a high yield savings account. Right now it's 3-4%, something like that, depending on where you go. And we don't just continue saving. You don't just save all the time. So we'll get 3-4% on the savings. And then if you're paying off, let's say, high interest credit card debt, for example, that could be 20+%, right? So that's a pretty valuable return on your money. It's better than 3 or 4%, right? And investing in, say, a broad market stock, it's going to be about 8% conservatively return over a long enough time horizon every single year, right? Some years will be down, some years could be 20%, but on average, overall, we'll say 8%. So that's a better return than 3 to 4. So what he is saying is true, but I think when people hear this, they're like, oh my God, I should not save money. You should absolutely save money. It should be one of the foundational pieces in your personal finances. And then after that, like he was saying, so it was good advice. The things that we do with our money, like after everything else is paid, is what is going to make or break it. And if you like these videos, I've got another TikTok reaction talking about saving money. So if you want to check it out,